Okay, on this video I'm going to show you how to solve all of your problems. Isn't that great? Great title. How to solve all your problems. Well, I am looking for catchy titles, but I'm going to tell you some things here about how I've solved a lot of my problems, how I am solving a lot of my problems. First of all, the only way to solve all your problems, as long as you're alive, you're going to have problems. I've got 3 dogs right here that are causing me some problems right now. So as long as you're alive, there's going to be problems. And if you're in business, which I'm reaching out to other business people or entrepreneurs, you're going to have more problems than most people, because life is a continual, ongoing set of problems, or I like to call them challenges. And see, one of my big mutts right here. The 2 little ones you can't see. Look, business is life on steroids, as my good friend Alan Bechtold used to say. So you get more of the good, and you get more of the bad too. So you'll have more problems because business is one problem after another. Business is solving problems, and as an entrepreneur, we get paid to solve problems. Shut up. We get paid to solve problems. That's what entrepreneurs do. We look for solutions in the form of products and services that we bring into the marketplace. So we get paid to solve problems. Problems are not a bad thing. In fact, if you look in the dictionary, get away from this big dog here. If you look in the dictionary, study the word problem, you'll see that it's not a bad thing. Problems are meant to be solved. My good friend that got me into sales in the very beginning, I'll never forget. I was in Colorado Springs, and I was working for him, and I would always come up to him and I'd say, "Ron, I got a problem." And then he'd say, "No, TJ, you don't have a problem. You have a challenge." I say, "Oh, yeah. 10 minutes later, hour later, I'd go, "Hey, Ron, I got a problem. And no. So finally started getting pissed. Finally started saying, it's a challenge, man. Don't call them problems, call them challenges. And to the point where I would say, "Hey, Ron, I got a challenge." Well, I just did it because he was making me do it, so to say. It was only years later that I actually did a word study. A challenge is basically, I'm paraphrasing using my own understanding. You don't substitute my judgment for yours, but a challenge is a problem that you look forward to solving. You're excited about solving it. That's why you call it a challenge, man. This is a challenge. It's exciting. And problems are meant to be solved. Oftentimes our biggest breakthroughs come from solving problems. Now, ironically enough, most people are looking to run away from all of their problems. And they do it in a variety of ways. The most extreme examples are drinking and drugs and all kinds of other addictions, mostly negative kinds of things. And they're just looking to escape. They want to escape their problems. Now, the irony is that oftentimes those people end up in real trouble. Because there is no escaping of your problems. It actually creates more problems. The escaping of their problems. So in an extreme example, like drugs. Drugs is the best example. I'm a former drug addict. I haven't taken any drugs for over 30 years, but I went through 2 treatment centers and straightened my life out. A lot of people just take drugs just to escape their problems, but ultimately they get so caught up in it that then that becomes a problem that they can't solve by themselves. They need help with, some intervention and some help, professional help. Look, speaking of that, so I went to 2 different treatment centers, and then I spent 4 years in after therapy, group therapy and one-on-one counseling. And I'll never forget, now, this is a metaphor. I'm trying to keep this video short so it doesn't become a huge problem for you to watch it. I'll never forget, I asked my counselor one day, I said, "Brandon, what kind of psychology," this is after I'd been working with him for 2 or 3 years. I said, what kind of psychology are you using on me and all of your other patients, so to say? And he said, well, TJ, see all of these books right here? And of course, they were right there in his office. He just said, I use a little bit out of each one of these books. And I never forgot that. It was brilliant. To me, it was just brilliant. It's became a metaphor for me. There is no one way to solve all your problems. Just like when Brandon said to me, I use a little bit out of all of these books. Sometimes you solve your problems by prayer and meditation. Sometimes you solve your problems by extreme massive action. But here is the point. You get better at solving your problems as long as you face them head on. I did another video. I called it the #1 rule of success. And in that video, the #1 rule of success is to take total responsibility. You have to take total responsibility. Even if it's not your fault, at least you're taking total responsibility for your actions and your reactions and your thoughts and your attitude and that type of thing. The things that you can control. So it's the same way with problems. You've got to face them head on. The more you try to avoid them, and I'm a great avoider. I've made all the mistakes. So I'm striving to practice what I preach, but it's something you have to continue to work on. Look, let me wrap this video up by just saying this. The coolest thing about getting older, and I'm 57 years old now, been self-employed for over 30 years. I've faced a lot of different problems, ran from a lot of problems, and not done very well handling a lot of them over the years. But the coolest thing about getting old, for some of you that are 20, 30 years younger than me, is as you continue to try to face your problems and solve them as you get to them and look for new methods and continue to develop your problem solving skills, the coolest thing is I am now faced with all kinds of problems and challenges that I know 20 years ago I would have never been able to handle. You know, you don't get less problems, you get more problems. Life is just one problem, but you develop your skills so the same kind of problems, well, here's a great quote. The same things that cause others to break down can cause you to break records. It's through the solving of problems that you develop your skills and your abilities. You also learn some great breakthrough methods that lead to some great discoveries. And the things that for me, and if you're an older person like I am, you can relate to this hopefully too. Things that used to bother me for weeks on end now bother me for days. Things that used to bother me for days now bother me for hours. Things that used to bother me for hours don't even bother me anymore. You learn that there are things in this life that you can control and there's things you can't control. But the one thing you can always control is your attitude, your thoughts, your actions, the things that you tell yourself about whatever it is that you're going through, and your overall philosophy that problems are not a bad thing. You can see my two little dogs in the background. Problems are not a bad thing at all. They're just an ongoing part of life. You got to look for the good. First, you accept that. You can't avoid problem. The day your life is problem free is when your life is over. So all these people that tell me constantly, take it easy, TJ, take it easy. I say, I'll take it easy when I die. For right now, I want to live my life, and living my life just means facing whatever I've got in front of me. And but ask yourself in the heat of the problems that the heat of the challenges that you're going through, ask yourself, what's good about this? First thing you'll say is nothing. Nothing's good about it. Well, what could be good about it? And you start finding things. And then you keep working on this. It takes a long time, but you keep working on it. What's interesting about this? What's funny about this? What's unusual about this? I've got a situation right now where one of my employees, who I will be letting go of next week, I found out he's been stealing money from me. It's a crime. It's called embezzlement. And I'm exploring all of my options right now. But, you know, so 20 years ago, I would have just been furious. I would have absolutely, positively just been furious. But I'm not. I'm not furious now. He's stolen some money from me, quite a bit of money, actually. But but I'm looking for some funny things, and I'm finding them. I'm finding some really funny things within all of this, and we're at the end of the video, so I can't even tell you what they are. But it's a way of coping with the situation, and call it a trick of the mind, if you will, or whatever. But look, you don't have to let things bother you. You don't have to let things stress you out. The same things that stress some people out bore other people. There is no real thing as stress. Stress is all subjective. Look, this video has been way too long. I hope that there's something I've said that's made a difference here. If you like the video, leave me a comment. Go to my website at heytj.com. That's HEYTJ.com, or send me an email at tickets@heytj.com, and just let me know you like the video. And I'm always looking for good joint venture business partners. So if you're interested in making money, I can help you, or at least I can show you what I'm doing. So do reach out to me. And I'm always looking for new friends in business and joint venture partners and that type of thing. So this is about the longest video I've ever done. But problems are just an ongoing part of life and business. And remember, as an entrepreneur, we solve problems. We look for the biggest obstacles and headaches and hassles and problems that other people are faced with, and we try to develop products and services that solve those problems. So the problem in and of itself is not a bad thing. In fact, it can make you millions of dollars, but potentially. Solving problems can make you millions of dollars, or however much money you want to make. So hope you've enjoyed something I shared with you. Thank you for watching this through and through. Go to my website at heytj.com and let's start a conversation and see if we can make some money together, if that interests you. With that said, thanks again, and bye for now.